Alright, welcome to part 2. If you're just joining us, I have I sketched in the first video, and this second we're going to be inking here this character. So I'm just on a layer above the sketch layer. Matter of fact, I think we'll lower the opacity of the sketch layer down just a little bit there, and then on the layer above it, I'm doing an ink layer is what I'm calling it. So let me redo that. If you were on Bristol board, let's say, you'd be just doing this right over top of the drawing itself with either a quill, paintbrush, and ink. You can also use paint. And I was just kind of moving these lines just so that I would get kind of hard edges. We talked about this in the last video, where you can use watercolor, ink, magic markers. It's really up to you as far as how you want the end product to look. I'll be adding color in the next video. Here we're just getting the ink line down. With layers, if you're not familiar with that, if you know how the old animation cells work, they were clear plastic, and then an artist would use a drawing and ink over top of the place the drawing on a table, put the plastic over top of the drawing, and then would literally ink in the lines, kind of what I'm doing here. So this is the digital version of the way things used to be done. And you can start with the nose, start with the eyes, doesn't really matter. And I think I'm happy with that. Yeah, let's do it again. The nice thing about the digital, again, is that you're able to kind of keep going until you get it exactly how you want it. And also, you're not using whiteout to correct the mistakes. And again, there are no mistakes as long as you keep working until you're happy with the product, whether it's on paper or digitally. So, and again here, we're using the drawing as a reference. We're not you're not married to how that looks exactly. So let me make this one bigger. Actually, I kind of like it if the back one's bigger, so they're kind of out of whack. Again, you don't want to go too symmetrical with anything. A little line under the eye there, a little line under the line there, under the eye rather. And what's nice about being able to delete, you really get it to where you can keep that your line very loose. So that's one of the real advantages to doing this digitally rather than the traditional pen and ink on paper. And just that quick, we're getting it. Again, the ear is just literally a C and kind of a stylized T. Actually, I'm going to go that way with that line. Keeping the ear very simple because it's not a main part of this drawing. Again, these are retro. I'll do some other ones as well, but this is just to give you an idea of, I think, pretty much how simple cartooning can be. And with anything else, it does take practice, but if you have fun with it, it's not a chore. And I think cartoons are great for you can make holiday cards, Christmas cards, birthday cards, and if you're on a trip, it's great to kind of do a caricature just of yourself or whatever, and what you're going through on a trip, and put that on a postcard. I've done that in the past and gotten a lot of really positive feedback. And, again, it's about having fun with this stuff. It's not, don't overthink it. The more you think about it, sometimes I think you lose something in the drawing. So just let it kind of happen. That's what's nice about the working off of the sketch layer. As I'm inking, I know where I kind of want the line to go, but I'm going to let the ink kind of just happen as and I really want those strong edges here because it's that type of style, that retro type of style where the edges are hard. You see it in like Johnny Neutron and Powerpuff Girls. I don't really watch those, but my daughters did years ago. And I remember when it'd be on, I'd kind of chuckle at the style because it's real popular, that style right now. So everything that's old is new, I guess, is the attitude. For me, my favorite cartoons are still always going to be the classic Warner Brother cartoons, and there are elements in that retro style that they use. Again, I'm just trying to, yeah, you know what, maybe we'll change the shape of his head a little bit. Yeah, I think that might work. Yeah. Again, in the retro styles, a lot of times they use the letter D. You'll see that quite a bit for the head shape and the body shape as well. Here I wasn't planning on using it, but it kind of does work. So if you can see the line there, and then over there, it's kind of in a D shape. You see that quite a bit with the retro, and a lot of boomerang shapes too. You see in the retro. See a lot of those kind of imaging. Again, just using the pencils as a reference. And I'm not making this perfect because this is just for really demonstration purposes. If I was publishing this or doing something or doing a design for someone, I'd certainly spend more time with it. But this just shows you how quickly this can be done. I'm doing this in Photoshop. You can do it in any software, or do it the traditional pen and paper way. Again, I think I talked about it in the last video. If you are going to work in paper, if you don't have a light table, you should do the whole project on a Bristol board. Bristol board has got it's got good consistency. It's a little thinner than poster board and a little thicker than regular paper, and you can ink and use a pen quill or a paintbrush. It's actually pretty forgiving. If you want to go heavier, you can go to illustration board, and that's stuff you can just kind of experiment. If you go to your local art store, they have a lot of those kind of products that you can kind of mess with and see what works for you too. The nice thing about this is there's general rules, but when you meet people that draw and stuff, and they say, "Well, I like working on foam board," and you go, "Really? I never work on foam board," or something like that. But what works for some doesn't work for others, and there is trial and error, and keep trying different things. Don't just do what I'm saying. I got that eyebrow there. I like going let's see what this eyebrow. Yeah, we're gonna go kind of keep the eyebrows asymmetrical, and I like the idea of it kind of going off of the head just a little bit there. Clean that up, and we're almost there with the ink, and we can move on to color. So again, I think I'm showing you pretty quick that this doesn't take much, especially once you get your drawing down. There's I think a lot less thought in the ink phase, because you're just letting that happen, and you're using the drawing later strictly as a reference guide. Again, it could be a little cleaner, but for demonstration purposes, I think this is fine. Again, I would not be doing this much overlapping if I was inking this on a illustration board or on a Bristol board. I'd try to make it a little cleaner, so you'd be doing a lot of cleanup the way I'm doing this. But that's fine. I think we got our ink done. So you can see now, if you were just drawing on Bristol board, what you do is erase your pencil, and you'd be left with your ink layer. And if you're on a light table, this is what you'd have, and of course digital, this is what we have. I'm going to just change this around just a little bit. I'm not crazy about that eyebrow, and I really wanted it to go off, but I was going for a different size. Again, usually in the foreground, this eyebrow, the eyebrow in the foreground should be a little bit bigger than the one in the background, but with cartoons, we can break those rules. That's one of the nice things about, like I said, I love that about cartooning is all bets are off, really. And it works. Most of the times when I draw hands, and we'll do that in another video, I actually use 4 fingers and a thumb, but with cartooning, a lot of people, and it looks right, it's just the 3-finger technique. And it all depends on the look you're going for. And I've actually seen it on cartoons, animated cartoons, where they go from 3 and 4 finger and back, which is kind of interesting. So there we go. I bought a Dudley Do-Right DVD, and I was looking at it, and they go from 3-finger to 4-finger, then back to 3 or whatever. Anyway, that's the ink. Hope you can catch me on another video. Check out modernmancomics.com, and thanks for checking this out.